Welcome back, friends. Everybody's going crazy about AVICI. The first time I covered it was back a month or something ago. It was sitting at 8 million, 7 million market cap. And I told everyone, if you guys are interested in this project, you think that this project and this narrative can be something in the near future, that was my accumulation. Accumulation was from $6 to $8 million. Now, if you did that, you're sitting at 10 to 13x in profit. Now, a lot of people are asking, where can AVICI head to? I see a lot of people saying many things. So let me give you a benchmark for you to actually study this and have basic, guidelines on the narrative itself and AVICI specifically. Now, I'm going to talk about the narrative, I'm going to talk about the fundamentals and the technical charts of AVICI. So first part, the narrative itself, the new bank, which I covered in the second video, which I believe AVICI was sitting at 3.5 million market cap back then, about 2 weeks ago. So the narrative itself, can it be in the billion-dollar project? Yes. We have Revolut estimation of their valuation of their company came at $75 billion. So the space is there, the utilization is there. Now, a lot of people are saying, is this new bank, can it be just a serious utilization that come into effect? That's the unknown, because we have regulations and we have frameworks, we have guidelines, we have governments, we have banks that will oppose this unless they get a piece of that pie. So it's a gray area that no one has the right answer. So just be aware of this. Second, this narrative is getting congested fast. Soulflare coming in, Bybit coming in, big guys, big exchanges. A lot of people are seeing this opportunity, and MasterCard and Visa are just opening the gates for all these guys to just come in. Whoever wins this obviously will lead this narrative. So we have the narrative. It is hot. It is tempting for users and for banks. It makes a lot of sense. You have some crypto, USDC, USDT, whatever it is, depending on which card you use, and you'll be able to use it right away as a spending card. Now, the evolution of this is what matters. Can it be line of credit? Can it be mortgages paid through that? So it's still, the evolution will come, but will it come this year? Will it come next year? Will it be rejected by banks? Will it be opposed by the big guys? That's the unknown. So you have to be realistic. Yes, the narrative is hot. Yes, there is space for projects like AVICI and others to go into the billion-dollar market caps. But then you need to have the network. You need to have the collaboration. You need to have government and banking approving this to allow you to enter their niche. It's not a simple niche. So that being said, where's AVICI standing this from a fundamental perspective? I have to say and admit that Ram, who's running the show and is running the project of AVICI, he has a vision. I haven't talked to him personally, but from tracking of what he's saying on Twitter, X, and Telegram, he knows that this is a hot narrative and it will be very hot soon. And what he's doing is absolutely remarkable. He's cutting all the noise and he's focusing on delivering as fast as possible to become on the top 3, top 5, top 10, top 1. It is a fearful narrative. They're going after the big guys. The big guys will not just watch, and sit and watch. But on the other hand, he's just delivering day by day. He's sending some hints here and there. I saw him trying to send a message to Grant Cardone when the JP Morgan happened. So he's smart on tackling these little points where he connect the dots, and it shows that he knows where is he heading. Now, on top of that, he has a plan. He has an actual master plan. And this is very impressive. I'm going to read it really quick. I'll put a link to this master plan just for you guys to see it. And you can see there's many components right here. The most important one is this master plan. You're going to go really quick. He already checked that use stablecoin Visa cards to keep gaining distribution. Built an internet neobank that is 10x better than regional banks in emerging markets by providing local card bins, better and smarter real-time credit lines. Make AVICI the default payroll account and primary home of finances and a safe place to store wealth and privacy. Launch an independent trust score to replace, deliver mortgages, reduce dependence on central bank interest, kickstart a world reserve stablecoin government. These are very ambitious points. AVICI Master Plan is what motivates us to build. It's idealistic and mission-driven. The world might not always reward this, and we may not be able to execute everything. This should not be treated as a strict roadmap. Some problems may no longer need solving after a few years, or we may need to focus on something else instead. AVICI should stay adaptive and execute in a way that reduces the influence of central banks. So basically what he's saying is very simple. This is called waterfall. Like, you adapt with the outcomes of government regulations, banking, fighting this. So he's saying, doesn't matter. This is my ambitious plan. I'll try my best to achieve whatever I can achieve. I know there will be obstacles. If they show up, we will go and treat it along the way. And that's what you want from a project manager. He knows where he's heading, and he's not extremely ignorant of what can block this project. If it gets blocked, I should move to the next step. I'm not going to be stuck trying to fight something I know is not achievable. This is critical in a project manager. So that's why I'm bullish. A team that knows what they want to do, and they anticipate the risks that they come along the way, and they're willing to adapt. Trust me, this is what you want in a team. So he has an ambitious plan, very ambitious, very strong. Other things that adds up to this formula. He doesn't care about listing on exchanges. Other than that, exchanges come and actually purchase liquidity from secondary market. If you don't know what that means, if you want to be listed on exchange, you'd either have to pay, or you pay plus you give up liquidity, and that comes with airdrop to the exchange, where it's a selling pressure to the project. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Any exchange is more than welcome to buy it from the secondary market, listed on their exchange at zero cost. And this is an important indicator telling you, you know what? I trust what I'm building. I know what I'm building. If you want to grab a piece of that volume, you're more than welcome. I don't need to pay you because I know what I'm building. This self-confidence is not a show-off as much as I know I have a product that it's going to be a hot narrative. I know I'm building a hot product in this hot narrative. So that being said, it's a good sign, by the way. Also, not to mention that there's no VCs, no KOLs, allocations. So those are all elements that once you put them all together, it makes a lot of sense. Now, from a technical perspective, there's probably more better technical experts than me. But for me, this is, if you go to this is a 4-hour chart. This is very, very bullish chart. That's the reality. Now, even with this bullish trend, it's trying to break out from this trend. So we all know that 100 million is a psychological selling point. People will sell at 100 million. Minus $1 million too, that's fine. That's where people want to collect gains. That's a very normal and healthy action. So where can it go? Well, if Revolut is sitting at 65 billion market cap, or 67 or 65 or 75, I believe. Does this have the potential to be a 1 billion market cap in a couple or 3 months? Well, the roadmap is clear, the vision is clear, the product is out there still in beta, but so far everybody's happy with the product, and the comparables are there. Realistically, yes, this can be a billion market cap or even more, depending on what they can achieve, depending on the sentiment. And if you go to, let's say, X, and I don't know if you guys know how to do this, but I'll just show you. If you just write here, AVICI, and then just click, you're going to see everybody that talks about AVICI, good or bad. You can see here, if you just skim, you don't have to read every single one of them, but you'd say, hey, this is how a chart look like if you have a working product. Good. That's bullish. Okay, there's in the market, bullish. You want to look for the bad ones, the ones that saying this project is going to fail, this project is going to go down. And then compare how many bad ones compared to the good ones. If you have 1 or 2 versus 100, then you're saying, you know what, these two probably doing something, fishy. And if you have 50-50, then, maybe it's time to take profits. If 90%, 80% are saying bad things and 20% are saying good things, maybe you should really evaluate the project. So far you can just check here. Okay, stop teasing AVICI, tap that 100 whatever. I'm not here telling you to buy. I'm not here to telling you to hold your bags. I'm just telling you how the market is reacting to this. Obviously, take your initials, take your profits. This market can backfire on you any second. So it's up to you at this moment. You ask around, go to the Telegram. I go to the Telegram. I don't talk. Realistically, I don't talk. I'm just checking the sentiment among the users. Is everyone happy? Is there less happier people coming into the space? Did they get scammed? Did they get any bad feeling about this project? From there, I start to worry about the project. So far, it's on the right track. From the technical perspective, it broke the trend. It's reaching the 100 million market cap. You would expect sell-offs. 200 and 500 and 1 billion, you would expect sell-offs. It's a normal reaction, psychological numbers that people will sell and take profits. So now, it's up to you to tell me. I'm not going to tell you where this is heading. I want you in the comments, tell me, you know what, I think this can go to only 200 million market cap max, 1 billion, 10 billion, 50 billion. If you've done some research, if you have any close idea of, where this can be, the max that it can go. I don't see the 75 billion happening, this year or maybe next year. But I like what Ram is doing. I really, really impressed from a project perspective, project management perspective. He's really focused on delivering. He's really focused on making AVICI. And I think that's what he's doing. I think he knows that this market will be congested soon. And his focus is, even in the Telegram, he doesn't care but you retweet his tweet. He doesn't give two craps like those cheap, models where, you know what, guys, we send a tweet, pump it up, share it with your friends. No, they don't care two craps. They don't share the price of AVICI. They don't care what happens to the price of AVICI. They don't care if you retweet. They're really focused on pleasing the community by delivering and give them an experience that is free of bad issues. Any problem that has issues with payments, lags, whatever, then that's what they care about and how to fix it. At the same time, the team is focusing on delivering, because if they become the number one before anyone else, because everyone else is busy with exchanges, listing on exchanges. They're wasting their energy on listing on exchanges, marketing, and this and that. What RAM is doing is very smart. I'm going to build a product that is 100% functional. I'm bringing more. He mentioned, for example, on one of the tweets, I think multi-sig. He mentioned MoonPay, something coming up. So collaborations, partnerships, expanding, improving, all of this just to make sure AVICI becomes the number one before anyone else. Brings in more solutions, brings in more utility, brings in less frictionless, less friction to the user to onboard onto AVICI. Those what matters. Now, I've said everything that you can track. One thing that you have to consider also that it is mintable token, meaning that, but in this case, because it is under the DAO, so the governance will decide later on how much to mint and how much to reward. And smart enough, they don't care about it right now, because all they care is like, if I perform very well and I can jack this up to, a billion, 10 billion, whatever it is, then I'll get the rewards by the community, approved by the DAO. So he's got all these dots well connected, well organized, clear vision, clear execution, clear sentiment, honesty. What else can you look for? Again, take profits, secure initials, and if you have a number in mind that where AVICI can head, please write them in the comments. I want to see what people's thoughts are. This will just, just give me a clear idea of the sentiment about AVICI by the community. All right, guys, take care and best of luck.